Hello and welcome to another video. So we're playing a spell boost Chimera deck today. This is pretty much the generic pure build for Giant Chimera with no real crazy additives and nothing too new outside of Truth's Adjudication, which is mainly there for things like the Blood and Sword matchup where that can come in quite handy. Overall though, this deck is quite okay. I found it's very average when it came to being competitively viable, as a lot of sword decks can be quite difficult to deal with unless you have a pretty perfect hand. So we're going to get right into this and check it out. So of course the biggest problem this deck typically has is survivability, being able to get to the later turns that you need to finish games off. It's not impossible, but it's also not the easiest thing in the world to do, as getting those low card drops like this current hand isn't always the easiest thing in the world, and getting Giant Chimera in your hand also isn't the easiest thing in the world. Is it worthwhile though? I think so. I think if you've got the cards to build this deck and you're looking for something competitively to play with Rune, you could build this deck. Mysteria is also quite good. I would almost say Mysteria at this stage is definitely better than Giant Chimera, but it's definitely still a viable option. So going up against Dragon is actually one of the few positive matchups for this deck. Being able to easily kill off Dragon decks is not a surprise, as you're running some decent engine for that. You've got lots of removal, which removes a lot of 2 and below drops quite easily, and of course you've got some mass removal with Nova, which does quite a good job. So for them to play anything that was going to be substantial wasn't really a problem. So Destiny Bard is perfect. I like using Prophecy of Doom, as it is just a really solid one for this deck. I'm getting the double spell boost basically, with the Evo and the attack. Always works out pretty nicely. So this time Al is going to boost everything in our hand by 2 again. So we're getting some decent spell boosting. Our whole hand is actually spell boosted pretty nicely, with Flame Destroyer being at 4 means we've boosted everything by 6 currently, excluding of course Prophecy, which, considering it is turn 6, isn't exactly a bad spell boost. It's definitely not the best it could possibly be, but it's reasonable enough. So Truth's Adjudication, not exactly a high boost on it, but high enough. Omen of Disdain, a little bit of a problem, but not one we can't handle. So we've got Prophecy, plus Flame Destroyer. Not really many other options, but taking, what's going to probably be 8 damage is fairly reasonable. And Nova Flare should pick up most of these kills pretty easy next turn. So it's really not a problem that our opponent was attacking face. So I'll go for the draw first, just kind of digging for anything that I might be able to use. Luckily, we got almost a full clear, just leaving up a 1/1 ward. Not really any kind of problem there. This Izdrahar is a little bit of an issue though, definitely not the card you want to face. Lucky for us though, that is only 9, plus a little bit more spell boosting. And a comfortable Giant Chimera should give us lethal pretty easily. And couldn't ask for a much better outcome on our Chimera turn. Now next up we have a Rune versus a Rune. Not another surprising matchup, as Rune has become reasonably common on the ladder in the last few days. Lots of different variations of Rune, but I've found that most typically Mysteria is the more common, with Giant Chimera probably coming up second, and then everything else kind of below that. So of course we get a pretty decent starting hand again with our Giant Chimera, and drawing an insight as well off our insight, so definitely good to have those low curve. So we can curve out pretty nicely going into the next couple of turns. It's just going to be a matter of making sure we play all our cards out. And considering how many cards we've got that we can spell boost practically, being the 2 Giant Chimeras mainly, we're not really going to have an issue with overdraw too much. Like, everything that we're going to probably overdraw isn't going to be as much value as what we currently have in our hand.
I see to the ends of the world.
I decided to hold on to the Evos. I feel like that was a decent idea.
How could there be a future like this?
And we're going to be able to Magic Owl with our Insight and just kind of boost this hand up. And this also frees us up a nice little spot. Considering we can double Magic Owl, we're going to be pretty comfortable when it comes to spell boosting. So I decided to go for Rune first, of course, because Owl can be played anyway, which means Prophecy of Boons will at least get a couple of spell boosts itself, making it almost viable as a decent card play for probably turn 8 by the time we spell boost next turn. So Absolute Zero Blade and Seraphic Blade, looks like they're playing a very similar deck to mine. It's not a big shock. The biggest problem is going to be their Giant Chimera swing turn. So we definitely had to overdraw a few cards there to get some extra spell boosts, as I wanted to have Prophecy of a Doom viable for turn 8. As I couldn't really come up with another way to go about it. So, Prophecy of Doom. So even if they Chimera, we shouldn't quite die. Should be close. Fortunately, it doesn't look like they had Chimera, because otherwise why wouldn't you play it there? And it looks like we just have a lethal here with the Giant Chimera for exactly 12 damage. Couldn't ask for a much better play. So Giant Chimera has always been a deck I've quite enjoyed playing. It's a little bit of fun and it's fairly consistent enough that I made a video on it. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe. You'll find the deck list in the description below. Until next time, see ya.